So, are you ready? Alright, so today's activity consists of subtraction within 20. I'm going to present you with a teen number, one of the teen numbers, and you're going to tell me that teen number minus 10, or however many tens there are, is equal to the number of ones. So, for example, 14. So, 14 minus 10 is equal to 4. And that's how it's going to go. You ready? Okay, so our first one is, here we go, 14 minus 10 is equal to 4. Good. Now get your arms moving. Let's come on. Come on. If I can look silly, you can look silly too. How about okay? Let's do another one. Minus 10 is equal to 8. Good. A little faster. Okay. The suspense is killing me. Y'all gonna tell me to get new batteries, right? Please remind me to get new batteries. Minus 10 is equal to 1. Excellent. 17 minus 10 is equal to 7. Awesome. 16 minus 10 is equal to 6. Right on, guys. You getting it. 13 minus 10 is equal to 3. Awesome. And 19 minus 10 is equal to 9. Whew, we're on it today, yes. Okay, do I have any more? Let's see. I do. All right, here we go. 15 minus 10 is 110 is equal to 5. Good. Remember, I'm setting this up like this because it's like our hide 0 cards. That 0, because it's a group of 10, is hidden by the loose ones. All right. Oh, and 10. I'm sorry. 12 minus 10 is equal to 2. Right on. Yay. Great work. Great work. So now you're going to get out your Learn book if you didn't already have it handy. And we're going to be on page number 249. We're almost at the end of this book. This is actually the last topic of Module 3. We're starting the last topic of Module 3 today. Topic D on page 249. Our directions read, there were 14 items on the table to measure. I already measured 5 of them. How many more items are there to measure? Wait a minute, no. Listen. It's talking about having measured. You already did the measuring. You measured. Remember we talked about past tense verbs? Yeah, you measured. You did it already. So you don't need a measuring tool. You're not measuring now. You want to know how many more items need to be measured. You already did some of them. So listen. There were 14 items on the table to measure. I already measured 5 of them. How many more items are there to measure? Right, go ahead, look that up for a minute. Well, 3 minutes actually. Then you'll submit your answer because it's going to pop up. You're going to answer, and then we'll do it together. All right, here we go. One more time, we'll read it. There were 14 items on the table to measure. I already measured 5 of them. How many more items are there to measure? All right, go ahead. Okay, so yes, we're referring to these items. And there were how many on the table to begin with? 14. Good. And how many have already been measured? 5. So minus the 5 we already measured is equal to how many items are left to measure. How many items are left to measure? Let's count back. So starting at the whole, we're going to count back 5 counts. So 14, counting backwards. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. 14 minus 5 is equal to 9. Good. So am I done? Am I done? No! The question is, how many more items are there to measure? And the answer is 9 more items, because we're talking about these items that need to be measured. So I've got my markers and my crayons and my books and my pencils and all these are my items. I've already measured some of them. This is how many more items need to be measured. Now, we're ready to continue. And as I stated, we're going to start topic D today. Topic D is what's called interpreting data. Interpreting data or data, you might have heard it either way. And that means I have information and I need to organize it to answer questions, okay? Now, what happened is I asked your parents what their favorite sport is. And these are the results. We have 2 blue, so 2 people like, I don't know, one of these sports. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green. 6 people like maybe basketball, I don't know. And 1, 2, 3, 4 people like the other one. I don't know. Well, here's the thing of it. Can I gather meaning? Can I interpret anything from this? Not really very well. So, while I have collected the information, and it's color-coded, so each color means something, this does not allow me to interpret the information. So, what we've done here is we made a chart saying the question we're asking, favorite sports, and we have the name of each sport that was an option. Their options were football, basketball, and soccer. So these are the votes based on the options, football, basketball, and soccer. So let's organize this information in a way that we can gather meaning. We can interpret what it's telling us. So let's just get rid of that. That's sloppy. We don't want to do it like that. How about let's count the votes and organize them. So we have 1, 2 votes for football. We have 2 votes for football. Okay. Is there any more for football? Well, there were only 2 blue earlier, so I assume it must be 2 for football. Okay, let's count for basketball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you'll see what I did here, and I'm going to show it to you bigger right here. This is how you organize tally marks. These are called tally marks, and you organize them in groups of 5. So every time you get to the 5th one, you mark across the other. So you'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I see it look like this symbol depicts a group of 5. Not I draw 5 and then cross it. No, the 5th one goes on a slant. It leans diagonally, communicating to you that that's a group of 5. Just like we've always done 5s and 10s to help us count, to help us organize our material. So yes, that's what that means. So right now we have how many votes for basketball? 5 votes for basketball. Good. But is that enough? I don't know. Let's find out. No, there are how many votes for basketball? There are 6 votes for basketball. Okay. Now, let's see what our preference is for soccer from our parents. 1 vote for soccer. 2 votes for soccer, 3 votes for soccer, 4 votes for soccer. Now, looking at the information, the data in this format, can we ask and answer questions about it? Yes, good. From this information, which sport did our class parents like the most? Which one has the most votes? Basketball. Basketball has the most votes. Excellent. And which sport did the parents in our class like the least? Football. Football only has how many votes? 2. There were only 2 votes for football in our class. That was quite surprising. But yes, there are only 2 votes for football in our class. If I wanted to put the people that liked soccer and the people that liked football in a group together, would that group be the same size as the basketball group? Yes, my 6 basketball fans are in one group, and then my 4 soccer fans and my 2 football fans are another group. Both groups are now the same size. So this is what I mean when I say interpreting data. It means getting information from people's votes and opinions. Votes and opinions. So that's interpreting data. Matter of fact, I might drop the brain pot for you to watch about interpreting data too. I don't know yet. Technically, we watched it already on election day, but it can't hurt to watch it again, right? Yeah, because that's what voting is. Counting votes, that's interpreting data. Oh, it's all part of that. This is part of, and this is part of the reason that all this math we're doing right now is super duper important for you. All right, so now we're ready to practice some on our own, or not our own, together, but it starts on page 337 of your Bedroom Succeed book, and I'm actually going to do something different. I'm going to ask you, do you have your book? All right, got it or not, it's time to go. So either you have it and you're working with me, we're actively working together, or you don't have it and you're paying really good attention, because you're going to be responsible for doing some of these on your own in just a few short minutes. All right, so like I said, page 337 is right here. And what I want to draw your attention to is actually the sheet of paper before here, which provides additional instructions and helps you. Literally, it's called your homework helper. Provides support for you in working on the topic that we're doing. That's part of the reason this book is so big, because the page before each homework assignment is a helper page, so you can get help in doing what you have to do to get your work done. Now, we're going to find out the number of votes for each flavor of ice cream. Our first flavor is chocolate. How many votes or tally marks are there for chocolate? Counting. 1, 2. Correct. 4 students like chocolate best according to this set of information. How many like strawberry the best? 3 students like strawberry the best. Excellent counting. Okay, now, what about cookie dough? What did we just learn about tally mark grouping? How many votes is this set right here? 5, because it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, making a group of 5. And then how many more like cookie dough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 groups of 5 is 10. There were 10 votes for cookie dough. Good. So now let's fill in the blanks and answer questions about the ice cream flavor preferences of this class. The first statement, well, the first direction, we're going to fill in the blanks in the table by writing the number. And check, we did that. Number 2 wants to know how many students chose cookie dough as the flavor they like the best. So we take the information from our data table, our chart, and we fill it in to answer the questions. 10 students like cookie dough the best. What is the total number of students who like chocolate or strawberry the best? Now, what they want us to do when they say or is to put the chocolate children and the strawberry children together. The children that prefer chocolate and the children who prefer strawberry, put them together in a group, just like we did with our parents in the sports question. What's the number of students who like chocolate or strawberry? So putting chocolate and strawberry together, that is 4 and 3 is 7. 7 students like chocolate or strawberry the best. Good. Which flavor received the least, the smallest, the fewest number of votes, amount of votes? Which one was not favored very much? Meaning, which one has the least number of tally marks? Which one has the smallest number? Strawberry. Good job. Strawberry. Strawberry is liked the least in this class. Good job. Now, I think this came about because cookie dough was an option, because when vanilla is an option, the data tends to be skewed a little bit differently. But you'll see that. We've been voting on that in our class. So, yeah, strawberry is much more favored when vanilla is an option. I'm just saying. All right. What is the total number of students who like cookie dough or chocolate the best? This time, we want to take the children who like cookie dough and put them in a group with the children who like chocolate. So cookie dough and chocolate, unite! Chocolate cookie dough? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But how many children is that? So 10 children who like cookie dough. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That'll get us where we gotta go. 14 students like cookie dough or chocolate the best. Good. Now, like I said, these are questions we can answer based on the data we collected. This is interpreting data. Data interpretation. I told us what we were doing. Which 2 flavors are liked by a total of 7 students? So which 2 flavors, when we put those children together, makes a total of 7 students? Well, we already did that math. We did that math right here on number 3. And which 2 were those? Chocolate and strawberry. So which 2 flavors were liked by a total of 7 students? Chocolate. You see what I'm doing here? I'm checking up for the spelling of the word, okay? Chocolate and strawberry. Chocolate and strawberry. Good job. Now, number 7, the last question says to write an addition sentence that shows how many students voted for their favorite ice cream flavor. Now, in this addition sentence, we're putting together all the votes. We want to know chocolate plus strawberry plus cookie dough. Okay, so chocolate as a number is what? So chocolate as a number is 4. So chocolate plus 3 strawberry plus 10 cookie dough is equal to what? What is 4 chocolate plus 3 strawberry plus 10 cookie dough? 17. 17 students. 17 students. That is the answer to our question. 17 students voted for their favorite flavor of ice cream. And how did I do that so quickly? Because I already know that 4 and 3 is 7. 7 and 10, 17. 17 minus 10, 7. Oh, you mean that warm-up activity influences what we're working on today? Imagine that. Crazy idea. What was I thinking? All right, so we're going to look at another chart to interpret some more data. Interpreting data. I personally like a lot of stuff. I like school. Let's just be honest. I like school. Okay, so this time we have the votes, but they're not organized yet. This is on, let me double check and make sure I'm giving you the right. So yes, it's the back side of that same sheet of paper. The back side of that same sheet of paper, right there again. Yes, the back side of that same sheet of paper. So you can see a more close-up picture of it. So this is what we do when the information is not organized. We go across the row, and for each one, we write a tally mark for the votes. The first one reads comic book. So we're going to give comic book 1 vote. And then I'm going to mark it off here so I don't write it again. The next one, even if you can't read this word, you know that this letter and this letter match. So they have the same first letter in addition to, the same, all the rest of the letters. That might be what we want. So this says magazine. So 1 vote for magazine, mark it out. 1 vote for chapter book, mark it out. Keep going. Comic book, mark it out. Magazine, mark it out. Chapter book, good, mark it out. Now it's not just a pattern, you can't just go do. You actually have to look at the data, organize the data, interpret the data. Somebody already collected it for us. Step 1's collect. Check. Now we organize, interpret. Collect, organize, interpret. Okay? So what's next? Comic book. And what's after comic book? Again, comic book. Good. Followed by chapter book. Chapter book. Ooh, here is a what again? Another chapter book. I am now completing a group of 5. So I'm going to mark across it to show that this is a group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next vote is again for chapter book. Then magazine, and magazine. Now, we have collected, check, organized or sorted, checked, check. Now we're able to interpret our data. The first one says, how many students like to read chapter books the most? 6 students. Good. And we counted that so quickly because it's 5 and 1 more. Which item received the least, smallest, fewest amount of votes? Which one has the smallest number? Comic books. Good. Comic books. For some reason, this group doesn't like comic books like that. And that's fine. Comic book. Okay. How many more students like to read chapter books than magazines? How many more students? This is that same situation, just like we're looking at the differences in the height. We want to know if I stacked the chapter books on top of each other, how much higher, longer is that group than the magazine group? So we take the larger number, the group of 6, minus the group of 5, and that leaves us with, so show me, 6 chapter books minus 5 magazines leaves us with just one student. One student, and we solved that using 6 minus 5 is equal to 1. Okay, look how it's lined up. There's one more here than there is there. What's the total number of students who like to read magazines or chapter books? All right, that's where we're putting 2 groups together again. We want to know what is the total number of students who like to read magazines or chapter books. So put the magazine readers and the chapter book readers in a group together. What would that number sentence be? Magazine is 5. Chapter book is 6. So this time, instead of subtracting, we're putting the pieces together. So what is 5 and 6? You're not sure? Well then, okay, you've got some options. You can count on, you can count all, you can look at your picture. So this is the group of 5, so 5, 10, and one more is 11. What's the total number of students who like to read magazines or chapter books? Putting those groups together? 11 students. 11 students, okay? Which 2 items did a total of 9 students like to read? So what we're trying to find out here is we know that 9 is the number of students that we want to put in this group. We know that blank plus blank is going to equal 9. Well, we already know, we've counted several times, that the number of magazine readers is 5, correct? Yeah, it's 5 magazine readers, okay? And we said there's 6 chapter book readers, which gave us a group of 11. So can it be magazines and chapter books? No, which means one of these 2 missing parts has to be the group of comic book readers. And how many comic book readers do we have? 4. So 9 is equal to 4 plus 9 is equal to 4 plus. So let's figure out what is that missing part. We only have 2 options. It's either 5 or 6. So 4, cross them list. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, how many is that? How many did I just put up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 and 5 makes 9. Do magazines or chapter books have 5 readers? Magazine. So my answer to this question is, which two items, which two together, makes a group of 9 students? Comic book and magazine. Comic book and magazine. Good job. Now, we're going to write an addition sentence that shows how many students voted. So we want comic books plus magazines plus chapter books. Comic books, magazines, and chapter books all together makes our true grand total whole. So, comic books, magazines, and chapter books. Comic books is represented in this instance by the number 4, because there's 4 comic book readers, plus 5 magazine readers, plus 6 chapter book readers. Which two can we put together to make a group of 10? Comic books and chapter books. Good. Comic books and chapter books is a group of 10. What is 10 and 5 more? 10 and 5 more is 15. Good. So again, 15 students voted. 15 students voted. Collect your data, organize your data, interpret your data. Find out what people like, make it make sense, answer questions about it. Data interpretation. All right, now we did these together. Now there's one that I need you to do by yourself. For your problem set. That's why you say you're going to do your problem set, then you're going to ask somebody to help you, like, is this right? And then they're going to say, yeah, no, you got it, go ahead, it's your exit ticket. Or they're going to say, no, let me help you. This is what your grown-ups are for. This is what your teacher's for. You know, one of your grown-ups. You got your home grown-ups, your daycare grown-ups, your school grown-ups, you got all your grown-ups. Somebody's going to help you. You got to ask questions. Because there's a lot of reading that goes with the data interpretation. So you might need some help, and that's okay. That's okay. Ask for help. It's good. It's good, I promise. But yes, so what you're going to do by yourself is on page 251 in your Learn book. Note the blue color to match the blue binding. Page 251. Let me just make sure I'm correct when I say this. It's just the front. It's just front-sided. And we're looking at favorite colors. Favorite colors. Okay? So yes, like I said, ask one of your grown-ups for help if you're not sure what the questions are asking you. The data has already been collected. You need to sort and interpret. That's your role in this, sort and interpret. Then you're going to have an exit ticket to respond to. I'm going to put this in the format... format in which I will read the questions to you. Let's put it that way. I'll put this in a format in which I will be able to read the questions to you, and you'll be able to turn in the answer that you figured out. And it's on page 253 in your book if you need work room before you go into that task. So you have the visual so you can, translate from the book. To the computer, so put the pieces together. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you today. I will see you later. Let me or any of your other grown-ups know if you have any questions, and bye.